everyone, I'm Sarah Figueroa and I am happy to be a part of this cohort for the spring semester. I'm starting the class a little bit late because while I was away out of country in Africa, Harvard abruptly canceled one of my courses without notice or explanation. And so when I came back into an area that actually had Wi-Fi and reliable internet, I had to scramble and register for a course. So here I am. Getting on with this assignment. So I am very excited about this class. I think it complements my focus in future studies and my specialization, which is in nutritional neuropsych. And now I have an interest in molecular nutrition. So that all said, I'm going to dive in and answer the questions here for the assignment, which is number one, when do you do your best learning? And for me, I've identified three different areas. The first one is restorative sleep, which I was severely lacking on this trip. And what I mean by restorative sleep is sleep that's actually non-interrupted, isn't impacted by spikes in cortisol or other outside distractions. My sleep environment is harmonious and peaceful, and it allows me to get restorative sleep, not just sleep. And I think it's important to clarify that because there is a difference in what that environment looks like, and my sleep environment is extremely important. The second thing is that when I'm nourishing my body for my biology and not my ideology, I feel a lot better and I perform a lot better. So what does that mean, to eat for your biology and not your ideology? That means that you're eating on a cellular, molecular, biological level for what your body actually needs versus for a specific food ideology, for example, veganism, vegetarianism, pescatarianism, or you're guided by certain religious beliefs, let's say, for example, Judaism, that only allows you to eat foods that are double wrapped in foil or cut with a certain knife, things like that. Eating for my biology. And the third one is that I know that I'm best learning when I'm genuinely interested in a topic matter. I am genuinely curious about what it is I'm learning and how it applies to my daily life and how it impacts my patients, clients, and my personal and professional relationships. So how do I know? That these things are working, and what do the performance outcomes look like? For me, there are two areas. The first area is that I have extreme mental clarity. I have a sense and feeling of increased motivation to be doing what I'm doing. And overall, I have a really positive sentiment of my health and well-being, and like an irrevocable sense of joy. Like I genuinely am excited and feel present and want to be in the environment that I'm in. And the second one is in how I measure performance is when I do a lot of my practice quizzes over and over again. And I've done that for all the courses that I've taken, especially when it's offered. And that repetition and practice allows me to reinforce the concepts in the curriculum that I'm learning. The second one in that category is I not only engage in the practice quizzes, but I also journal about what I enjoy and what I like and how I can see it be applicable into what I'm doing in the future, and also in just a daily aspect that I find really helpful. And then the last one is is there any reliable data to support the perceived gain in effectiveness or efficacy? And I thought that was an interesting way to frame that question, perceived gain, because it is really about the lens in which we are looking through, right? So I do believe there is perceived gain here, and there is reliable data to back it up. When it comes to specifically how do we best learn, there is a book that I have read, one of many, that is actually behind me, and it's called You Happier, I'm not their publicist, but it's one of many books written by a neuropsychologist, neuroscientist by the name of Dr. Daniel Amann. And You Happier is about the 7 neuroscience secrets of feeling good based on your brain type. And in the book, there are 4 circles that have been identified with data that focuses on these things. There's a biological circle. There's a which encompasses how our physical body and brain function. There's a psychological circle, which focuses on developmental issues and how you think. And then there's a social circle that focuses on your social support and your current life situation and societal influences. And then lastly, there's a spiritual circle, which focuses on our connection to a higher power, the planet, and past and future generations that maybe we want to connect to, and overall our deepest sense of meaning and purpose. So that said, it's really important to acknowledge that as much as 95% of our cognitive activities happen in the unconscious mind. So when I think about that, that clearly is evidence into how we operate. So all of these layers, these circles that I mentioned, are really the foundation of how we engage and interface with people and with the activities that we're learning about. So knowing your brain type, and I wanted to bring this up as I close this all up, is super important to improve your overall learning. So it helps you know more about how to interact with the world. It helps you to optimize your specific brain, and to really like smooth out some of the rough edges in your life and understand what is more likely to make you happy, and who are those people that need to be around you. So this test, if you're curious, was given to 3 million people have taken it and counting. It's probably a lot higher since I read the book in 2022. But you can go to a website called brainhealthassessment.com and learn what your brain type is. I know what mine is. I've given it to a number of my friends, coworkers, and work colleagues, research cohorts as well, to understand who I work best with. And unlike the other common personality tests that you may be familiar with, like the Myers-Briggs, and there are a couple other ones, this actually has neuroscience backing behind it. So I would encourage everyone to take it out of sheer curiosity and figure out what your brain type is. Thank you again. Those are my explanations, and I will provide all the references from the bundles libraries that I sourced. There's about a half a dozen, and thank you so much. I look forward to the rest of this course. Bye.